When you're in woodworking, the one thing that eats up all your space is the bits and pieces that you have laying around. And when they're really big bits like plywood and sheet goods, they take up tons of space. Kind of warm in the shop this morning. Getting ready to start on a new project. Got a couple of messes I need to clean up. Have lots of bits and pieces of plywood. We'll go over and take a look at those, and then I'll show you what I think I can do to fix it. This mess here is just bits and pieces and odds and ends, some of which I can salvage. Some of it's hardwood, plywood, pegboard. There is some plastics in there also that I might pick out, but a lot of it's going to end up getting trashed. The other pile, though, by the way, it blocks the doorway between the two shops. That's the old shop. I'm in the newer one. Go in and turn that light on, we'll get a look at the other one. All of this is sheet goods. And there is probably 6 or 8 sheets of ply of different thicknesses. Oak, there's full sheet oak hidden under there. I've got Lexan, I've got high density polyethylene, I've got some acrylic, several batches of sheets goods, and they're blocking my stack of bits and pieces, and some of that is some real heirloom wood that I want to get to using, but they're blocking my access to that, and more importantly, they're blocking my access to my workbench, my mechanic's workbench, and I'm standing in the bay where I should be parking my pickup. So the plan is to build a cart to put all that on. Let's go look at the plans. Well, not a bad shot. Anyway, it's whoa, Shasta, sorry about that. It's June 19th, and the plan is to build a cart to put my plywood on. Okay, so I got my workbench ready yesterday. I went ahead and put another coat of tung oil on it. It's a piece of a bowling alley. You gonna be okay, girl? Shasta, come here. You gonna be alright. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to step on your tail. Yeah. You have a place to lay. Probably not where my feet are. Okay? Well, over here. There you go. There you go. Oh yeah. Is it a good doggy? Huh? Okay. So at any rate, my workbench is made out of an old bowling alley. This end of it is hard maple. And geez, I've been using it for maybe 25 years. Okay. You can see it's still got the spots on it for ball location. This is a transition area, and the approach lane is Douglas fir, so it looks like finger joints at the transition area, the foul line being right here. Okay? There's basically a no drop zone in these old alleys after the foul line, so they go ahead and just make the transition with overlaps. Okay, but anyway, it's an old bowling alley, and the framing on it is some of the metal that was on it, but also I put pallet lumber, and it's 3x6s for the uprights and full dimension 2x4s for the frame up and down, and the long rail across the bottom. I never did finish it. I planned to enclose it, but I never got around to that. I don't know. That may or may not be on the list. The list is pretty long. Okay? You want some more? But anyway, it's not quite dry enough to work on, but it's not really tacky. So, thought I'd show you. Got my plans here for my plywood storage cart. And basically the way it's going to be is it's going to be a cart that's 4 foot long, okay, and 39 inches wide, 3 foot inside to inside from the stops. Basically, you put the plywood up. This will be at a 4-degree angle. Put the plywood up there, and it'll just lean toward the center, okay, from either side. The height on it is going to be 4 foot because it's on an angle. That'll be slightly lower than a full 4 foot sheet of plywood, which doesn't bother me at all. There will be enough gap at the top that you can get your fingers in between them. So a sheet laying up this side and a sheet laying up this side won't touch at the top. But at any rate, it'll have 2 uprights on each end. Okay. And then in the middle, it'll just have braces. I'm trying to keep this as light as I can and keep the weight at the bottom. Okay. Cross members at the bottom, it'll have 2 at each end. Filler strip, bunch of other little parts. Then it'll have 2x4 cross rails here that'll give me a place for the plywood to stand up against in case it's less than full height. Okay. Bill of materials. I don't need to use the workbench to cut the materials. Okay. I already have them here, and they're utility grade. I've got 8-footers and stud length. Trying to cut down on the cost as much as I can, but they're all kiln dried, so they should stay fairly straight. And I need to go ahead and cut them to length, and then I'll start doing the ripping. I'm going to have to rip one of them into 2x2s, and then the 2 halves that I cut, I'm going to have to put that 4-degree angle on the end of them. So that's the plan today, is just get it cut out. Oh, by the way, it will have 4 casters on the bottom of it. 2 will be swivel, 2 will be fixed. So, time to start. Okay, that gets 4 uprights cut so that the bottoms are at 4 degrees. I'm not gonna go ahead and dub the tops off. Let them go ahead and be just a little bit longer. That's fine with me. Now, let's cut the bottom rails. Alright, 2 of those.
Rolex celebrates the athletes and organizations that
I need to cut 3 cross pieces, 36 inches long.
Every road has its challenges.
I have a stop set at 36.
At Honda, we engineer
Now I need to cut my filler strip. Now I have to rip it. Okay, I need to cut it down the center. So that would be 1 11/16 to the inside, which is right about there. Okay, well, let's do a mock-up assembly of the base. Okay, crown them. We'll use these lines along the edge to help align it and the end here. Okay, let's find the center line. Okay, let's drop these on. $61 and 13/16. $61 and 13/16. Give or take a 64th. Pretty good. Okay. So,
single hole on this side.
it has a dust collector, but it doesn't really do a good job. And on top of that, it's gets in the way. I've used it. It's all right. No more than I've got to do here. I can clean this little mess up. 2 holes this side. Yep. One thing I learned about this Craig jig is that you want to make sure your part is absolutely nailed down tight. If not, that lead in on the bit right there, which is your pilot hole for your screw, that will bend if the board moves, and it's tool steel, so it don't bend much, it just breaks. Okay, 2 holes on each end, 1 hole on each end. Ready to go. This assembly went pretty smooth. I hope you join me next time, and I'll put the rack on the top of it and we'll put the casters on the bottom. See how it turned out. If you have the time, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a comment and poke that like button.